All right, before I start my show where I scream at clouds, meal prepping is a real pain in the you-know-what. And I don't care what anybody tells you, it's an incredible amount of work, and you're liable to make a lot of food that is very repetitive. So your big plan to eat well is pretty much submarined after week one. What if you could take all the convenience of meal prep, except you don't do a bit of it and no repetition? That's what Factor meals are all about. Delivered to you regularly, ready to go. You warm them up in some of the greatest tastes you'll ever have. You'll be like, how can this possibly be? It's a perfectly cooked, amazing meal without a ton of calories and all the nutrition and energy I need to live a healthy lifestyle. Let's face it, time is a factor. And if you're short on time, you aren't going to eat well. Forget the time factor. Forget paying too much for getting takeout food. How about something absolutely perfect, ready to go? When things get hectic, Factor is flexible. You can even change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. This is so set up for you, you're going to love it. Stress less over meal times in the new year. Factor's no prep, no mess meals, free up time otherwise spent shopping, cooking, and cleanup. No more wasting all that time. Listen, head to factormeals.com/Zane50 and use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's right. Code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Factormeals.com/Zane50. Use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Do it. What's up, everybody? I just finished another episode of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Ben and I get together with a live audience on Patreon, and you can check out the full show at patreon.com/Eric Zane. 7 days free. I've got a free clip right here. One of the highlights of the most recent episode, actually it has been this way for the last few weeks, is pulling clips from Ben's sports talk radio show that he is the producer of, and going over some of the hilariously awkward interactions between legendary co-host Anthony Bellino from X's and Bros and Ben Glaze. Ben is always a little bit awkward, and these two are separated. They're in like different parts of the state. So like the miles are between them, and technology, there's like a slight delay, and Ben sometimes doesn't know what the hell to say. That's not his strong suit, at least not with Anthony. With me, it's fine. But sometimes you get the urge almost to want to punch the words out of Ben. So that's where we pick it up here, playing one of these amazing interactions between Ben and Anthony on this free clip from the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast.
Yeah, it was the free and clear.
Right. But no, he remembers that and goes back to you.
I didn't even ask before we got on. I'm so excited to talk about.
He goes, oh, yeah, I didn't even.
I didn't even ask before we got on. I'm so excited to talk about the playoffs and the playoff tickets available. Ben, I didn't even ask you how you were this morning.
Oh, it's all right.
What a jerk!
That's fine.
God, what is wrong with me?
Ben's like, I was happy.
Show some class and some dignity. What's going on over there? How are you?
I'm good. Just ready for this. Ready for next week for the weather to be up in the 40s, so I can stop having to swivel my head the whole ride to work.
It is stressful, isn't it?
Yeah. Driving like 30 miles per hour on the expressway behind people.
Okay, now when you were talking, this is all I heard.
In
fact, this is how it would sound to make it a little bit more entertaining.
I didn't even ask before we got on. I'm so excited to talk about the playoffs and the playoff tickets available. Ben, I didn't even ask you how you were this morning.
Oh, it's all right.
What a jerk!
That's fine.
God, what is wrong with me? Show some class and some dignity. What's going on over there? How are you?
I'm good. Just ready for next week. For the weather to be up in the 40s, so I can stop having to swivel my head the whole ride to work.
It is stressful, isn't it?
Yeah. driving like 30 miles per hour on the expressway behind people. Oh man.
Yeah, so you do take the highway to get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, there you go. That's my free clip from Ben and Eric, the most recent show. You can get the full show as part of signing up for Patreon. There is a ton of content there. Shows like the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Who are these free beers? Who are these Zanes? The daily Patreon bonus podcast that I do, the Insane Asylum plus the Lost Zane recordings. All of that, hours and hours each week, published to Patreon. Try it for free for 7 days at patreon.com/Eric Zane. You do have to put in a payment form, but like I keep repeating, you can cancel it right after you sign up, and you still get the 7 days. It is foolproof. Try it out and see if there's something you like there. And if you do, well, then come on back and sign up again. Or just let it go and let it ride, and you can just enjoy it however you want. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thanks so much for checking this out, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.